Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of No Vacancy. I'm your host, Glenn Hausman, and I'm in my home studio, which is really exciting for me, but honestly, not as exciting as if you do me a favor and visit our friends over at Actable. Actable, they give you the power to profit. Visit actable.com, help you with your labor issues that are out there. Makes you a lot more efficient. Speaking of also being efficient, I got one of our good friends here. You might recognize him from all the podcasts we do together. The last one when we were a little bit sleepy in Las Vegas. Now I'm sleepy in New York. The incredible Bruce Ford,
Live
SVP of
from New Hampshire.
yeah, baby. It's good to see you. How are you doing today, man?
I am standing tall. I think spring is here for the next 20 minutes, but I'll report back at the end of the day.
Well, we got summer here right now. It's going back to winter tomorrow as we're recording this. But Bruce, I've been traveling all over the place, and one thing I keep saying to myself is, I wonder what's going on with the global hotel construction and renovation pipeline. So that's why we got you back here today, don't we?
Yes, much of what we want to talk about today is kind of the differences in some markets and kind of how they're functioning out there today,
Mhm,
because the trends are different in each region of the world. The trends are different in some specific countries. The trends are different in
mhm.
some specific cities. So we've highlighted some cities that
Yep.
today are going to talk about those that have a lot of renovation activity, those that have a lot of conversion activity, and then if in fact new construction is occurring, why is that happening there?
Right. And we
So
firmly established in the past, Bruce, that the United States is now mostly in a conversion market, a renovation market, but there are
yes.
still emerging markets that have new construction. So let's get right into it.
Right. So, first thing we're going to start with today is piling together the hotel markets that have the most renovations around the world.
Mhm.
Okay. But we're stating all aspects of construction. So, the first column here is total new construction projects in the market and rooms.
Mhm.
Then we have the actual renovation projects that are underway today in the market. Uh, that Las Vegas number would include things like the renovation of the Mirage and conversion to a
All
Hard
right.
Rock hotel, but also they have a construction project there, which is the guitar portion of the building, which is new, that is
Mhm.
coming as well. So as
Right.
that project progresses, that number will change. Uh, Total number of brand conversions, and then add it all together for the total development pipeline. So in Las Vegas, it's a lot of suburban market area select service. There are a few select projects on the strip that are occurring. One is the Mirage that we spoke about,
Yep.
converting to the Hard Rock. The second one is the Bally's project at the ballpark. And then the third one is the NBA project connected with the new Las Vegas franchise for the NBA that they'll build an arena and a new casino resort as
I'd like
well.
to raise my hand and put up that I'm skeptical that that will get built. I personally, now I don't know diddly. I think it'd be great at T-Mobile Arena. We don't need a whole other arena. I think that we're getting too many arena problems in Vegas at this point.
Well, I think that the NBA franchise that wants to buy that location would
Oh, I get
disagree
it.
with you.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I'm looking at it from a completely different point of view than they are. If you are that owner of that NBA team, you obviously want a stadium or an arena that's built specifically for you so you can maximize profitability and not have to deal with MGM Resorts' component with the T-Mobile arena. But Bruce, Mecca, I'm a little surprised by the amount of projects there, and I'm curious to see what your assessment is about what the state of that market is prior to February and how things have changed since the Iranian war crisis started.
Well, there's a couple of signals here. First one is that the market was always already beginning to slow up prior to the first quarter of 26
Hmm.
because many of the government agencies that support the development has said they were going to make less of an investment in
Hmm.
26 than originally anticipated. So it was kind of already on the table. Okay. The projects that are coming in Mecca is the finest brands from all over the world, okay? And they're
Yep.
coming into complexes that are 20 and 30 and 40 hotels, that are neighborhoods, that are,
Right.
just a lot of infrastructure to develop, and I think it's just ultimately ends up going probably 12 to 24 months slower than anticipated. So will they eventually open? I think many of them will.
Yeah.
But today, it's really just kind of slowed. It hasn't stopped, but it's definitely slowed down.
Yeah, I'm starting to get skeptical of the overall general luxury market, not in terms of pricing power that current hotels have, but how much more can we build? You'd know better than me, but I'm sure there's still a lot of emerging markets and stuff where there's opportunity.
Well, you can talk about the one that's right here, which is London. London
Mhm.
also has a number of luxury destination properties. We have a lot of new luxury brands that premiered just prior to the pandemic and
Yep.
during the pandemic. And what is unique about luxury lodging today is that traditionally you would have seen a three or 400 unit hotel. Like, I
Yeah.
remember when they built the 2nd Ritz-Carlton in Boston, and it came out, it only had 195 keys, and everybody was like, "Well, how can you make
Yeah.
any money doing that?" Okay, and
Yeah.
the component was the residential component. That's
Yeah.
what changes everything as in terms of the real estate investment. So
That's
in
right. So
London.
just so people understand, when you're able to sell all of those units, you could offset and then enter profitability with money you get even before the structure is completed. So you've already set yourself up for success. That plus ground level retail in a lot of instances as well, if you're in an urban location.
Plus, many of the residences that buy at one of these residential, components at a luxury hotels, they're looking for the services. They want it to be part of the asset, and that gives them some security that it's going to, not only be available to them at any time, but in a luxury hotel, it's a very secure location as well if you're a part-time resident.
Yeah.
So
Go on. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
so they also actually have a 3rd property in Boston now, Ritz does, that's all
Mhm.
just residences on the top of South Station in the middle of the city.
Yeah,
And
I think I saw one of those, I think that's a thing that they're doing now. I'm
yeah,
just looking, to the left when I'm driving towards the city in the Long Island Expressway, but they
yeah,
built a number of years ago a whole Ritz-Carlton complex over there,
right.
it looked like.
So luxury hoteling, the properties are getting smaller, Glenn, okay?
Mhm.
More boutique. 150 keys, not abnormal now for a
No,
luxury
and Bruce, we've
property.
talked about in the past about how you could really deliver more of a tailored luxury experience with a smaller footprint. Once you get over that 200, 250 room count, it becomes much more complicated.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So what else is noted on this city? Chicago
Yeah.
continues to be completing renovations. Uh, and what's unique about Chicago is that they also have quite a few construction projects kind of in the loop, if you will, which
Yeah.
is again gaming generated because Bally's has a new casino in downtown
Chicago.
Chicago, and they are building a new hotel as well.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Bally's had a temporary casino for a long time that was delayed. Now that seems to have worked itself out.
Yes.
People love that temporary casino, but I hear the new one's really great.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's well underway and,
Mhm.
should be opening soon. But Chicago also has quite a few select service pockets around the northern side of the city,
Yeah.
as you would expect, as many of those brands are looking for their 1st and 2nd and 5th location in and around Chicago.
Uh,
So, next we're talking about conversions, and again, we've mentioned in the United States that conversion market is fully underway, and it's fully underway because it's being driven by hotel sales, which were up 20% last year, which are anticipated to be up again this year.
mhm.
Many times when a hotel sells, it is recapitalized, and there can be investment in the property to reset the investment for the hold period that the new buyer wants to have.
Yeah, one example I've seen, is Spark, I think has really, leveraged this trend and taken a
Yeah.
lot of properties that used to be at one particular price point and kind of moved them to a different category, and they
Mhm.
seem to be doing even better than at the original price point, even though they're, more economy focused or value focused.
Sure. So you have 3, each of them have a conversion brand at that level now. So
Yep.
Hilton has Spark, IHG has Garner, and Marriott has City Express hotels.
I haven't stayed at a City Express, but the Garners are really nice and the Sparks are really nice, and I look forward to trying out a City Express, so I can comment on that too.
They are comparable in terms of pipeline size. They all have, 100 projects plus, and very active on the conversion market and can move fairly quickly. What else is on this page for conversions? Well, in Nashville, where you have a little bit of a conversation here about the pipeline size, Nashville certainly has a lot of demand generators, and you may have seen in the news this week, Nashville officially has 1 million people that live there now, which
Wow.
is a pretty big uptick. Also in Nashville, they have a brand new football stadium that was awarded the Super Bowl for 2030. That was
Mhm.
also announced recently. And then they continue to improve the Broadway district downtown, and that's really attracting a lot of individual luxury kind of residential slash properties. And there are a number of them in the pipeline. So these are big platform full service hotels that are going to be coming into the urban center in Nashville, where Nashville, when you went there, you stayed at Opryland and there was a few proproperties downtown. Now that's
I'm
turned.
laughing because I remember that. I was staying out at Opryland early in our careers, doing events and being like, "Wow, there's nothing downtown at all." And then that Omni opened, and ever since then, it hasn't stopped.
It has not stopped, and it's not scheduled to stop. And we're getting not only luxury, but we're also getting a swath of upscale urban center properties as well.
Bruce, we're getting close to being out of time. So, what do we see here on this last slide?
So the last slide on conversion, combining conversions and renovations together and kind of sorting it that way. In the provincial region of Saudi Arabia and kind of looking around in that area, we're seeing a lot of renovations for properties. We did see some get announced as a result of kind of what was going on. But additionally to that, Orlando continues to go through a significant amount of renovation and conversion, lots of churn there. Also in Dallas, lots of churn. And then Guangzhou, China, is really driven by new construction. But the combination here in China is 475,000 rooms under construction today. So they're going to be opening quite a few new hotels in China over the next couple of years.
That's pretty
So
incredible.
try to take a deeper dive on this, Glenn. Looking forward to doing a few more episodes over the next couple of weeks and really appreciate your support on this. You can visit us at lodgingeconometrics.com/global insights to get all of our latest press releases and any content that I can assist with. Please feel free to reach out.
All right, quick last question for you. If the numbers penciled out, what's the number one city you would build a new hotel in, and one city you'd convert a hotel in?
So I'd want to be in the conversion business, I think, in Southern California,
Mhm.
and I would want to be in the new construction business. Probably still really kind of like South Beach, Miami. Still sounds pretty good.
All right, excellent. I love it, Bruce. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next time. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and ciao, baby. See you later.